Okay, so I have control.
Okay.
So if you just put your hands on your knees.
Yep.
Okay. If at any time you don't feel comfortable, just let me know.
Sure.
But I think you'll love it today. It's actually very pleasant. Very often in winter you come and it's raining or there's low clouds.
Yeah, it's fantastic day today.
Gorgeous viz today. So what I'll be doing is showing you some turns, and then when we come down again we'll practice on the ground, and then when we go up on the aerotow you can actually have a proper go at things.
Okay. Will that be yourself again for
Yeah.
the aerotow? Okay,
Yeah.
great. And what do you expect the flight time to be for this?
For this it depends. Normally a winch launch in winter is about 5 minutes. We might get a little bit longer on the ridge, and the aerotow 3000 will probably be 25 minutes, half an hour.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so here we go. You can see the cables
Yep.
live. Okay. So the acceleration, go airborne,
Hey.
nose will pitch up quite steeply. You can see we're climbing, so we're going through 500 feet now. And you can see the view is absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah. See the kart circuits.
And you'll start seeing the noses coming down, and what you'll hear is you'll hear a bang in a moment, which will be the cable coming off.
Are you controlling that?
Well, normally we wait until it comes off on its own.
Oh, really?
If you pull it off under tension, the winch driver tends to get a bit upset, but I think here, there we go.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, wow, 1600 feet, that's phenomenal off a winch launch.
Okay.
So there's the ridge that you can see, so we're going to head towards it. Okay. So we'll just put a little bit of speed on so we get up to the ridge, and then you can follow me through and start seeing what we do on the controls.
Okay.
As you can see, I mean the viz is fantastic. If
Yep.
you look over to the right, just at about 1 o'clock,
Yep.
you can see Birmingham. You just see the city on the horizon.
Towards the smog.
Yeah. And I say the nice thing about gliders compared with other powered aircraft is the view. There's no, it's really important that we can see out and do things.
Yeah, you get full sort of 360, don't you?
Absolutely. The other thing about gliding is that we tend to fly in close proximity to other gliders, because if you see another glider climbing and it's in good lift, you'll go and join it.
Yeah.
Okay, so follow me through on the controls.
Okay.
So we're going to turn to the right. So before we turn to the right, look right round to the right. Okay, right over your shoulder. Make sure there's nothing behind us.
Okay.
If you look over the nose now, okay, if you move the stick to the right, can you see how the ring will go down, and it keeps going down until we centralise the stick?
Yes.
And then you need to move the stick backwards a little bit to keep the nose in position. Okay, and then to straighten, look left,
Sorry.
straight ahead.
Yep.
And then move the stick to the left and centralise when the wings come level.
Okay.
Okay. We've just fallen a little bit behind the ridge there, so we'll just go a little bit further forward. It's a little bit bumpy because we're getting some lift off the ridge. Okay, if you look over the nose, okay, can you see where the nose is in relation to the horizon? Look at the amount of ground in view.
Okay.
If you follow me through still, if you move the stick forward a small amount, you see how the nose goes down?
Yes.
So that's basically pointing the bicycle down a steeper hill.
Yes.
We speed up.
Yep.
Okay, and if you move the stick up a little bit, okay, it goes quieter, we're slowing down. So this, if you like, is our speed control.
Yes.
And if we put the nose above the horizon, we start going uphill, and eventually, what will happen is that we'll fall off.
Yep.
Okay, we're just about to fall off now. So not raising the nose, that was a stall, nothing drastic. Okay, so I'm just going to go around to the right again now. So people get very worried about stalling, but it's actually nothing to get too excited by.
Yeah.
Okay, so just going to set this up for another turn. So follow me through on the controls again. We're going to go round to the left.
Okay.
So first thing to do, have a really good look round to the left, right over your shoulder, make sure there's nothing there. Look over the nose. Okay?
Yep.
So stick to the left, wing goes down, okay? Centralise, a little bit of backward pressure. Okay? You can see how we're getting a bit steeper there. So
Yep.
take some of them can roll off with just stick to the right, and then when you've got the angle that you want to straighten, stick to the right, centralise when the wing comes level.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll just do another beat up here, and then when we do the next turn I'll say you have control, my hands are off, and you're actually flying it.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll just come and beat up to the end of the ridge here. We've still got quite a nice little bit of height.
I guess it's sort of experience that you know how far you can go.
The problem with gliding is that everything you do is like using the clutch on a car. You know, you think, oh god, I'll never learn how to do it, and then it actually clicks and it suddenly becomes easy. Okay, you have control now, so look over to the right.
Yep.
Right over, look over to the nose. Now look over the nose now.
Yep.
Stick to the right a little bit. Okay, centralise. That's it. Okay. Ooh, okay. What happened there?
Yeah, there's a bit of yawing.
Yeah, okay. So let's try doing that again. So look round to the right.
Yep.
Look over the nose. Stick to the right. Okay. Keep the stick over to the right. Centralise. That's it. And what you're doing there is keeping the nose. Okay, the stick went a little bit too far to the left there.
Okay.
So
If it felt like it kept on turning, so did we not need to sort of correct the bank?
So I'll just follow through. We'll go round to the right again.
Okay.
So look round to the right, look over the nose.
Yep.
Okay, so stick to the right and the right wing goes down. Keeps going down until you've centralised.
Okay, yep.
Now if you're getting a bit steep, move the stick to the left a little bit.
Yes.
If you're a little bit shallow, then you can move the stick to the right. So what you're doing is controlling the bank.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Okay, so you have control. Let's go round to the left. So look round to the left, look over the nose, stick to the left. Okay, now keep the angle of the bank, a little bit of backward pressure to stop the nose from coming up.
Yep.
That's it. So what's happening to the bank here? It's coming off, so put a little bit more bank on. That's it. A little bit of backward pressure on the stick to keep the nose in the right place. That's it. Okay. Now we're going to straighten, so look right, look over the nose, stick to the right, and centralise when we come level. And then lower the nose. Fantastic, you've just done a turn.
Excellent.
Okay, so can you see the wings, let right wings down a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
there we go.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so we'll do a turn to the right now. So look right over your shoulder to the right, look over the nose, look over the nose and turning, stick to the right, centralise when you think you've got enough bank. Okay, that's it. Now, the bank's coming off, so what do you want to do? Okay. I have control again. I'm just going to straighten that. What happened there was you let the glider level itself. It tends to right itself because of the inherent stability of it. Okay. So you have control again.
Yes.
So look round to the left.
Left.
Okay. Look over the nose. Stick to the left. When you've got the angle of bank you want, centralise the stick. If you're getting too much bank, take some off. A little bit of backward pressure on the stick. Okay. So we've come out of the turn there. And if we didn't want to turn out of the turn, what do you want to do?
Keep going?
Yeah.
Bank over again?
Going.
Okay, so banking,
Yeah.
centralise.
And now we'll straighten. So stick to the right, and then as it comes level, centralise the stick.
Okay.
Fantastic. Okay. We've still got a good height here, so we're actually messing around in a bit of lift. Okay, I have control for a second. I'll just set it up again. So we've probably got time for one more turn before we have to go back in. Okay. So you have control.
Okay.
We're going to turn to the right. So look round to the right.
Yes.
All clear. Look over the nose. Stick to the right. Keep
Banking,
looking over the nose.
Centralise.
Centralise. Okay. Keep the angle. Good. Backward. That's it. So beautiful. Okay. And we're going to want to straighten now. So look to the left. Look over the nose. Centralise. Okay. And actually, you did that kind of instinct. Well, accidentally really. I have control now.
Okay.
The problem that you have is that actually when you're looking you shouldn't be moving the stick. So what you're tending to do is as you look you're moving the stick.
Yeah.
So and when you're beginning you should always be looking over the nose when you make any movements on the stick, because if you just look to the side, okay, and can you see how actually, can you tell where the nose is doing there? It's difficult.
Yeah, you need to keep your horizon aspect, don't you?
If you look over the nose now, okay, you can see actually it's very easy to see what's going on.
Yes.
Likewise, if you look to the left and I bank and turn, it's difficult to see exactly what's going on and how much. Whereas if you look over the nose, actually it's really easy.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to start moseying back now.
Yeah, how do you know where we're... I've sort of lost my bearings. You can see the kart circuit, that's the telltale.
You can see, and actually I know where we are because we've been on the ridge for a little while.
Yep.
In fact, the ridge is working quite nicely actually.
Yeah.
So what I might do is just maybe sneak a little bit of extra height. In fact, this is working really quite nicely here. Okay, but we're getting down below 900, so caution says let's go back in.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to go out into the valley a little bit to make sure, because when you're on a ridge, gliders will overtake on the inside. What we want to make sure is that we're not going to go turning left towards the hill when there's somebody trying to overtake us on the inside. So therefore we fly away from the hill for a while. And actually we fly into the lift, which is good. Okay, I'm going to go round to the left now. So there's the airfield.
And we're landing on the grass, are we?
Yeah, landing where we took off from, really.
Okay.
When we go in, we'll be going quite a lot faster.
Yes.
Because the speed is what gives us a little bit of safety.
Yep.
If the wind suddenly drops, as you go down, the wind will get weaker and weaker. So if you look just to the left, at about 1 o'clock low, you can see where the bus was. You see the
oh yes, I see it. Yeah, I see
that's where we're going to be landing.
Okay.
And as I say, it's just gorgeous at the moment. So we're in circuit. There's nothing opposite us. There's nothing coming in on long finals. Okay, the tug's on the ground. So there's nothing basically in our way. I'm going to put a little bit of speed on now that we're sort of level with where we want to be. And we're going to do a gentle circuit round to the right. And we'll be coming in really quite high because it's such a windy day that we can land very short today.
Yeah, I saw the last one came down fairly steeply. Is landing the hardest part, would you say?
No, not really. Everything's hard. I'd say everything's like using the clutch. So you'll see we'll be opening the air brakes a little bit now.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. Maintaining the 60 knots. And we'll be coming down very steeply because of the wind. Rounding out, and the landing should be incredibly gentle. Very short landing.
Have you got brakes on the wheels, or is that just friction? Okay.
Yeah. If
Very
you
good.
Look at the air brake. If you pull it the lever on the left.
Yes.
Okay. As you pull it out, if you pull it all the way back, it starts activating hydraulic brake on the wheel, which is why when we teach people to fly, if they're overshooting, people tend to be hauling on the air brakes, and if they're not careful they land and the wheel's locked and then there's a big skid, which on grass doesn't matter that much apart from it turfs up the grass a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'll do is open the canopy. I'll get out first.
Okay.
Okay, so if you look down you can release your straps. For winter it's just a wonderful day. Okay, so once your straps are out of the way, I'll come round. So again, when you get out, don't rest on the canopy.
Okay, so...
Yep. So put yourself out. You can stand on the seat if you're not that down.
Okay.
Oops.
There we go.
Now to take the chute off,